You've done enough for everyone else. You answered the phone when you shouldn't have answered the phone. You gave them a ride when you shouldn't have given them a ride. You were there for people when they weren't there for you. You have looked out for people. It's time for you to look out for yourself. Assalamu alaikum, my beautiful people. It has been so long. I'm excited to make this video for you guys on why you should focus on yourself. This is a very, very important topic, and I want to grab a seat, sit down, get your popcorn, your snacks, and your juices. Amanda is back. Before we start the video, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and shop So Royalty for your abayas and hijabs. Let's go ahead and get into the video. In today's society, we live in a distracted world. Everyone is so consumed with what's going on with everyone else as opposed to what's going on with ourselves. And I feel like it's very important for us to stay in tune with what really matters within our lives and actually be able to be comfortable with being alone. I'm going to tell you guys why you should focus on yourself and how you can focus on yourself. If you are an individual that is on the journey of success, then you are very familiar with the feeling of aloneness. And as you are on your journey, the shaitan and people will come along to teach you lessons. You can't form permanent situations with temporary people. And the one person that's gonna stay with you is yourself. Love yourself, and the best way you do that is by focusing on you, pouring into yourself, self-reflecting, being very in tune with the words that you speak, the things that you look at, what you pay attention to, who you're around. All of these things will partake in who you become into as a being. This world is made up of energy. I'm energy, you're energy. My voice that you're listening to right now is energy. Because you are consuming energy, you have to be very careful with what you consume online, on social media, on what you look at. These things will take an effect on your heart. Regularly set time to reflect on your daily action, your thoughts, your words, so you can notice which areas you need to improve in, so you can have a better future. First and foremost, if you are a Muslim and you're watching this, then you are already aware of the fact that this life is temporary. We can't get too caught up in this dunya. Making sure that we stay on top of our prayers, making dua, and actually doing what's right in private is what's going to give us the confidence, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is on your side and is with you. You've done enough for everyone else. You answered the phone when you shouldn't have answered the phone. You gave them a ride when you shouldn't have given them a ride. You were there for people when they weren't there for you. You have looked out for people. It's time for you to look out for yourself. Okay? All the time, the money, the energy that you have poured into other people, pour that into yourself right now. We're letting go of putting other people before ourselves. This is not that case anymore. Yes, I love you. Yes, I care about you, but I love myself more. I care about myself more, and I care about my future. It just has to come to a point where you're just tired. Like, you're just so tired of doing for people and not receiving that same energy. You see, yes, it's good to be a good person. Yes, it's good to give. Yes, it's good to do right by people. But what's also good is to make sure your cup is filled. You can't give on an empty cup. You can't give when you don't have much to give. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who love Him. When you remember Allah, He remembers you. So with everything that you do and the things that you give and the time that you spend alone self-reflecting, don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty by putting yourself second. Put Allah first. But don't feel guilty by doing that. You're okay. It's okay to love yourself. People get pride and conceitedness mixed up with self-love. There's a big difference. All praise is due to Allah. Reading the Quran, studying the Quran, pondering upon the meanings of the Quran, practicing self-control and discipline. These are the things that will help you build a stronger sense of self. You don't remember Allah. When you forget Allah, you forget yourself. You have to keep Allah in remembrance at all times. Because when I say that you can get lost in this dunya by working in school and focusing on this and watching this TV show and reading this and that, there has to come a time where you just have that peace that you've been looking for. That peace only comes from focusing on Allah and staying in tune with yourself. If you are a person that has a lot of friends, if you're around a lot of people all the time, if you're constantly talking to other people, there can be times where your energy feels depleted, like you feel drained. That's because when you interact with people, it's a give and take. They give you their energy and you get their energy. So be very mindful with the energy that you come in contact with. And that's why I say Alhamdulillah for being Muslim, because when you pray, every single time that you pray, it's like you're re-cleansing your whole energy field. You're filling yourself back up. Every time after I pray, I just feel better and more calm. Practicing self-compassion, focusing on the positive changes in your life, and seeking guidance are some ways that you can start focusing on yourself. I know with being on social media, it's so easy to just look at other people and look at what they have. But what Allah has for you will not miss you. Social media is not real. It doesn't matter how good they make it look online. We all get tested. This life is a test. Don't be deluded by what you see online. Anything you ask Allah for, you will have. And if you don't have it, it'll help you on the day of judgment. Just because someone has one blessing doesn't mean that takes away from your blessing. Anytime you see someone and you feel like you're getting envious or jealous, say, Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. What's for you will reach you. Maybe you don't even know that what Allah has for you is even greater. You may want a star, but Allah has the whole universe for you. Stay patient. Remember the Lord that you serve. You are a Muslim. You're doing what's right. You praying. You think Allah not going to bless you? Allah will bless you. It's going to be bigger than what you thought it would be. And the thing is that you know that deep down inside. Just sometimes you can get impatient because you want it now. You want it now. It's understandable. We want it now. But there's certain things that you have to learn along the way. Don't you see people always saying it's the journey, it's the journey, it's the journey? Yes, it's the journey. It's the journey. The journey may not be easy at times, but the destination is going to come, inshallah. Allah will never fail in His promise. See, we as human beings, we may break our promises. We may make mistakes and have our faults. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the most reliable. You can rely on Him. You can trust Him. You can praise Him. You can worship Him. He is worthy of all praise. Whatever you do in life, put Allah first. You're going to be set in everything that you do when you remember God. When you remember God in everything that you do, you will be just fine. Focus on yourself. Build yourself. Build who you are from within. It starts from within. We can't have what we want externally if we're not okay internally. If you feel like you're not in the best place spiritually, with Ramadan approaching, this is the time. Now is the time to return to Allah, to pour your heart out to Allah. Stop going to people with your problems and go to God. Allah will never leave you nor forsake you. Allah is open 24 hours a day. You don't have to call Him during a certain... You can call Him at any time. Allah is the greatest. All you have to do is put your hands like this and ask Him for what you want. Make wudu, pray 2 rakat, ask for forgiveness, and break dua for what you want. In this time while you're working on yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, set boundaries. You got to learn how to tell people no. Be willing to tell people no. No. I can't talk right now. No, I don't think I can make it. No, I'm not going to answer that text. No, I'm not. No. The answer is no. I have to put myself first. I have to do what's right. And be willing to do that. Because if you don't do it for yourself, who's going to do it for you, babes? Like, let's be real. Right now, this is the time when you're building yourself. You're building your habits. You're building your emotional state. You're building your thoughts. You're building your framework is coming into fruition right now. And as you're building yourself, you can't do it alone. So you do it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do it the right way. Taking care of your health, your mental well-being, eating healthy, relaxing, your hobbies. These things will help keep you sane. I know in these times you can feel like, oh my God, what's going on? You're not behind. You're not delayed. What Allah has for you is meant for you. What Allah has for you is going to reach you regardless. Your blessings, the du'as you've been praying for, that relationship you've been praying for, that success in your career you have been praying for is coming. Stay patient. I know you're tired of waiting. You want it right now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's timing is perfect. When He wants to give you something, it's going to come. Be kind to yourself and practice self-compassion. That compassion that you show for others, start showing it to yourself. Start filling yourself up with positive words. I'm beautiful. I'm worthy. I'm good enough. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm healthy. Allah loves me. Allah is taking care of me. Allah is making me successful. Start filling yourself up with positive words. I know it's sometimes where you just don't want to do that. You don't want to. You just want to be positive naturally. You have to fill yourself up with these things. You have to fill yourself up with words of affirmation, positive reinforcement, and repeat it over and over and over again until this is what you deeply believe. If you want to build self-love, I love myself. 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 Keep saying it. I love myself. I forgive myself. Make dua and ask Allah to help you build self-love, and just continue focusing on yourself. Focus on the positive qualities that you have. Sometimes we don't even see how beautiful we are. Sometimes we don't even notice how blessed we are, how healthy we are. I was at the gym today and I was not feeling that well. And as I was working out, I seen someone and he was in a wheelchair. And there was someone there with him and he was stretching the man that was in the wheelchair. He was stretching his body. He was stretching his arms, and that was in the wheelchair couldn't even stretch himself. You have legs, you can move, you can stretch yourself. You can stretch your arms like this. There's people who can't even do that, who just want to walk. There's people who just want to walk. I just felt so bad in that moment. I'm like, wow, just being ungrateful because look at this. I'm sitting here walking on a treadmill. I bet this man wishes that he could walk on a treadmill. It's situations like that, and I feel like us not focusing on ourselves and not remembering the blessings that we have stems from the shaitan, stems from ungratefulness. Like, be grateful for what you have. Recognize the blessings. Recognize how good Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been to you. He has been so good to you, so merciful to you. He loves you deeply, and you see it, and you know that deep down inside. So what's stopping you from turning to him? What's stopping you from doing what's right? When I talk to you, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself. As I'm saying this, I'm looking at myself. So focusing on the blessings that you have and recognizing the good things that you have in your life, it helps a lot. Can you imagine there's people who have no food, no water. There's people who wish they had what you had and were in your shoes. Focus on the good that you have, sister. You're worthy, you're good enough, you're blessed, you're beautiful, you're successful, you're a Muslim. This is not regular. You understand? You are a person of stature. Start holding yourself to that standard and recognize the goodness that you have from within. This is just a quick reminder to focus on yourself. I know in this dunya we can get distracted at times, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a beautiful plan for your life. Although sometimes it can be hard, life can be questionable at times, what is meant for you will reach you. And Allah is so merciful. He wants to give you what you want. Stay patient. Perhaps you dislike a thing which is good for you and like something which is bad for you. And Allah knows and you do not know. There's your plan and then there's Allah's plan. So trust His plan and focus on yourself and self-worth, your self-love, your compassion. Build your self-love, your self-worth. And as you get to know Allah, Allah will reveal to you who you are. Yes, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for today's video. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm trying not to cry, sister. Try not to cry. I'm trying to just keep it together. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. I love y'all. Shop so royalty for your abayas and hijabs. Allahumma barik.